With the 13th annual Castrol 6-hour motorcycle production classic about to commence at Amaroo Park, the threat of rain has dramatically increased tension on the grid. There's never been the potential for a faster Castrol 6-hour. The top 8 teams have all practiced under last year's pole qualifying time. The top 3 are equal on a flying 55.8 second lap. Len Willing on a Honda is off pole position. Beside him is Malcolm Campbell on a Suzuki. Then comes international Wayne Gardner on another Honda. It's the showdown for the Honda and Suzuki 1100s this year. It's the first time they've raced together in the Castrol 6-hour, and ironically also it's the last. They've been banned from racing from January the 1st. There's never been more money or time spent on Castrol preparation. The top teams have done more than 2,000 laps each in practice. That's almost 6 times the race distance. This year, the race is on from the start. Even the Le Mans start, when the riders sprint across the track, will be significant in the race result. Let's go now to Will Hagan in central commentary.
A big crowd turning up for this 13th Castrol 6-hour, and a crowd that just might, as the day goes on, get wet, because it's a very threatening sky overhead, which hasn't, as you can see, deterred people from making this, as usually is the case, the biggest attendance at Amaroo Park, cars or bikes, throughout the year. But there's the sky, and there's already been a few drops of rain, but then sunshine has followed that, so that exactly what's going to happen or when it's going to rain, we just can't tell. That's the way the top 5 riders line up. You can see that the 3 riders on pole all had equal times yesterday. Quite remarkable, an average speed of 125 kilometres an hour. And looking at bike grid position 4, Blanco French, I'm not sure that Alan Blanco will be able to sustain the pace, nor am I sure that in the 6th grid position, Paul Walden. That's actually changed recently. Scott Stevens, the reserve rider for the Matic team, is now taking the place of Paul, who's got an injured shoulder, and he will partner Rick Walden, who did that time yesterday. But below those 10, there are others too who I think early in the race will come to the fore. Taylor and Robbins on a Honda number 10, Hiscock and Gray on a Suzuki number 1. And that's the way the circuit looks from above. That's the bottom part of Amaroo, the link road, at the pit area there, going forward up the hill. And Dennis Neal, you've ridden here, you were second in the race a couple of years ago. This is the fast section of track.
We're getting it in fourth. We're getting it into 4th gear, just past the control tower. Just back to 3rd, some riders put it as you go over the top there. Most of them leave it in 4th and back to 3rd for the Dunlop loop. Quite a tricky part of the circuit. It's a double apex corner. You need to be very, very smooth.
In at the ripple strips, then following the tyre marks out.
Right, you can see actually there on the track where the bikes, most of the bikes have been going.
And then there's secondary apex.
Right, full power on there, and that's the part that catches a lot of riders out. The tyres are probably working their hardest on the whole circuit in that part of the track.
And nowhere to get out of trouble there either.
No, straight into the wall.
This corner, Mazda House.
Very high speed corner, you can make a lot of time there, and that's where the more experienced riders at Amaroo do a lot of their setting up to pass down here into Honda corner.
Which is downhill, the arrival there, and you're looking hard for adhesion, particularly if it's wet.
Right, back to 2nd gear, a lot of acceleration out of there, click at the 3rd on the kink, and then down.
It becomes another corner virtually, doesn't it?
Right,
at the speed you come out of Honda.
Pretty well on a full length through there.
And then the slowest corner on the circuit.
Back to 2nd gear, the stop corner or Winfield, once again works the tyres very hard, full throttle out of there.
And a nasty kick in on the apex.
Right, and most of the riders tell me it's got quite rough in the past year too. So into 3rd gear, along the short straight there, very dangerous part of the circuit here, absolutely no room for error at all. Very close to the fence, within a bike width to the fence, and then on up the track straight again for another lap.
1.946 kilometres around.
The sprinters lined up for the start of the 1982 Castrol 6-hour motorcycle race at Amaroo Park. 30 seconds remaining. A sprint of perhaps 10 metres across the track, and it is significant in the start of the race. Muck this up and you could be very, very slow up the hill, trapped in traffic. 15 seconds to go. Tension rising with these riders, their heartbeat really getting on. 5 seconds. Bill Orme, the managing director of Castrol, with the flag. It's up and they're away in the Castrol 6-hour. Fast start from Neil Shivers, bike 6. But up the hill it's bike 8. The Len Willing bike.
4, Campbell, who did equal pole setting time yesterday. Malcolm Campbell, the Tasmanian's gone into the lead on the Suzuki 1100, number 4. Mattage bike going through there in front of Clark, Wayne Clark riding 2. But this is the man they're chasing, Campbell, being chased immediately by Willing on number 8. He's in second place. Third place then Wayne Clark, looking for a way down on Willing. And he gets through too. But it's still Suzuki leading from Honda second.
That's the first lap down. They have 377 to go.
Third place is Willing, fourth place is Phyllis on the Suzuki number 14. So Rob Phyllis has come through from grid position 8 to be lying fourth. 17 there we saw going through is Radford. Starting the fairway back in 14th grid position.
Standing lap of 69.52 seconds, and that included the sprint across the track.
Still that quartet of 4. Malcolm Campbell on the Suzuki, 8. Willing on the Honda 1100. 4 in front of him though. Sorry, 2 into the lead now, Wayne Clark, and he's really charging. That's Jeff French, the Queenslander, son of John French, the car driver, on number 7 for the Mattage team. Look at the way Wayne Clark's going, a man who broke his leg at Bathurst the Easter before last.
And the first flying lap of Amaroo Park, 57.86. Dennis Neal, that's really flying.
Incredible time, and I'm glad that everyone got off to a safe start, because those first 2 or 3 laps are very, very critical, because your tyres are stone cold. And to do a lap time like that, it just shows you how hard they're at it.
Are they pushing it too hard, do you think, Dennis?
Well, no, I think now they're over the critical part. That first lap when they're stone cold, now they're going to start to generate some heat in them. I think they're all right. I noticed actually Wayne Clark there, who's leading the race, started on brand new tyres, which amazed me. I always wanted to put a few laps on them to scruff them up a bit, but Wayne preferred to start on a brand new set of tyres, and looks like he's doing it really well.
Clark from Malcolm Campbell.
Chivers was in 5th place on number 6, but he slipped back 1 behind Hiscock on number 1, who's come up to 5th place. That's the blue leathers there in front of the yellow leathers of Chivers on bike 6 in 6th place. So Neville Hiscock's forging through, and he started from 10th grid position.
Malcolm Campbell's really keen to go with him. He told me before the race that because he's one fuel stop disadvantage to the Hondas, that he figured he had to lead them in the early stages and set the pace. So.
A 57.68 lap time on that last flying lap, and that's for Wayne Clark on brand new tyres. The sky clearing, quite a deal of blue evident now over the looking north from the circuit. Clark Campbell.
Rob Phyllis has joined them too now.
14, Phyllis is in there on 14, he's in 3rd place. So they come by to their pit signals. Then it's 8. That's Willing. Behind him it's Hiscock.
And Malcolm
Chivers in 1 and 6, and 7 behind them, Jeff French. Being followed by Pete Byers on 5, and Campbell now leading from Clark.
Leading the 750 class is Bob Toomey from Ian Perro. Toomey on a Suzuki, Perro on a Kawasaki.
And 3.21 seconds covers the first 10 riders.